What's up, guys? We are going to discuss the main event for this weekend. Max the Bless Holloway taking on Arnold Allen. I don't know if he has a nickname or not, but that's who he's fighting. Very exciting fight. One of the most quietest featherweights out there. Arnold Allen goes out there. He's been finally putting guys away. Not guys, but he did put away his last opponent in Dan Hooker. And that makes me excited for this one coming into this matchup with Max Holloway. For the specific reason is we know Max is one of the greatest featherweights of all time based on his winning streak, what he had, how long he had the belt at 145, him even challenging Dustin Poirier at 55 after losing in his UFC debut to Dustin Poirier at 145. So there's a lot of good things about this storyline. Can Max take on the hot surging prospect in Arnold Allen and turn him back so that he can get the next crack at the title after Yair Rodriguez, possibly, depending who wins that matchup between Yair and who's it? Volkanovski. Wow. Sorry, Volk. I just think it's a good scenario for him because obviously if Volkanovski beats Yair Rodriguez, we're not going to see Max Holloway versus Volkanovski 4. It just doesn't make a ton of sense, and I don't think a lot of the fans would want to care to see that fight, even though it was a great fight. All 3 fights were great fights. I just don't think the fans are going to want to see it for a 4th time with the same guy winning all 3 matchups. It's kind of like if Izzy were to fight Alex Pereira again and he were to have lost that last one, which she didn't, people would probably be like, I think this chapter is closed. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I think if you look at Arnold Allen's last fight against Dan Hooker, the way he came out, he caught Hooker, and then they had this crazy firefight exchange. Hooker got the worst of it, and then from there, Arnold Allen just kind of pieced him up and put on the finishing touches. But there were some moments in there where he kind of got clipped, where he got a little bit reckless. And I think if he tries to do that against Max Holloway, that could be a bad situation for him. So I think the approach for this, Max, he's got to use his range, got to be dynamic using his kicks. Arnold Allen's a very tough, slick southpaw. And from what it seems like, he's starting to hear that the people want finishes. And when you hear that the people want finishes and you go for it the way that he did against Dan Hooker, taking chances, that's very important and very critical. So will he open up and take that chance? I don't know. Will he get overzealous and starts to feel like it's like a wrestler who falls in love with striking? You start to just chase that knockout as opposed to want to go through that grind of 15 to 25 minutes or less. You rather just punch them out on the feet if you can. So I wonder if Arnold Allen's going to take that same approach, and if he feels like he touched him one time, is he going to just pull back the entire clip and just unload? I don't know. I think Max is a little more versatile with his attacks from what I can remember. I didn't get to watch their both, like the 2 of their last fights other than Arnold Allen's. And I can specifically say that Arnold Allen can be hit in those firefight exchanges if he gets overzealous thinking that Max is hurt more than he actually is. It's a fist fight. Anything can happen, especially with these small gloves. So with that being said, I know Allen is surging right now, but for some reason I feel like Max Holloway is going to turn him back and show that he's still the guy at this weight class outside of Volkanovski, and he's still championship material. I'm not saying Arnold Allen isn't championship material, but going from Dan Hooker to Max Holloway, Dan Hooker coming down to 145 again, I don't know if that's going to be the correct recipe for success here. And by the way, I stand corrected. Arnold Allen didn't go from Dan Hooker straight to Max Holloway. He went from Dan Hooker to Calvin Kattar, but there was like some weird knee injury thing. So I don't know if you guys want to consider that a fight, even though he did make the walk and step inside the octagon. But we have to kind of look at it for what it is and the time spent in the octagon. So for me, it still feels like he went from Dan Hooker straight to Max Holloway. So with that being said, I kind of have to lean towards Max Holloway. I think it's going to be a very fun fight. We've seen Max Holloway fight Yair Rodriguez, and that was a barn burner. We've seen Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar, even though it was pretty one-sided. But there were some moments for Calvin Kattar as well, even though he was getting beaten up for the most part. But when Max is in the equation, it's guaranteed fireworks, and that's why I'm most excited about this fight. Kansas City, I fought there in 2017 against Aquino Mendez. I think the fans were amazing, so the fans are in for a great show, especially when you got 2 guys like that as the headliner for an event like that. So tune in, and we'll see you guys next time. As always, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We'll get back to you.